Zhu Yu's lead actor and C-drama superstar, Zhang Linghe, is officially coming to Taiwan. Yes, you heard that right. On the 11th, Wang Xiangqi, the founding chairman of the Taipei Performing Arts, Culture, and Economic Exchange Association, filed an official request to invite top C-drama idols like Liu Yuning and Zhang Linghe for a cultural exchange visit to Taiwan. Shortly after, the State Council's Taiwan Affairs Office openly voiced their active support and warm welcome during a press conference. This move officially pushed Zhang Linghe's Taiwan visit to the forefront of cross-strait propaganda. On the surface, it looks like a standard cultural exchange driven by a massive hit show. However, since September last year, the name of another late Chinese actor, Menglong, has been constantly flooding the comment sections of Taiwan's social media platforms. Menglong is practically a household name in Taiwan, and ever since his passing, the Chinese authorities have enforced a ruthless lockdown, scrubbing posts and banning accounts to silence any discussion surrounding the cause of his death. But the censorship failed to bury the truth. Instead, it completely exposed the dark underbelly of corporate control and the inhumane treatment within the entertainment industry, sending shockwaves through netizens on both sides of the strait. Under the watchful eyes of countless casual fans who deeply value an artist's integrity, the noble character Menglong showed during his lifetime solidified into a powerful collective conscience after his passing. Netizens from both sides refused to stay silent. They voluntarily united, broke through the internet censorship, and painstakingly pieced back together the erased truth. Since September 20th of last year, the global non-governmental organization Avaaz launched a worldwide petition titled "Demand Justice for Menglong." To this day, over 770,000 people have already signed it. This cross-strait spiritual awakening even triggered a massive wave of citizens resigning from the Chinese Communist Party, the Youth League, and the Young Pioneers, forming a united front of resistance that struck fear into the regime. The fact that people from both sides voluntarily united out of pure conscience for a late artist didn't just deal a heavy blow to China's cross-strait united front propaganda. More importantly, it planted a seed in Taiwan, exposing the sheer cruelty of the regime's system. To contain this public relations crisis, the authorities quickly rebranded Zhang Linghe, who shares a striking resemblance in both looks and acting style, and urgently dispatched him on a cultural damage control mission. Is the regime trying to ride the wave of his skyrocketing popularity and highly anticipated visit to Taiwan to completely wipe out the political fallout sparked by Menglong's death? Are they using a shiny new idol to distract the public and dilute the collective questioning of their systemic black hole? Next, through long-term public opinion monitoring and deep data analysis, we will break down the inner workings of the system and the underlying logic behind this image war. Hey Tracers, how have you been? Hope you're all staying healthy. Seriously, take care of yourselves, because I recently came down with GERD, which irritated my throat and left me with this non-stop cough. Man, it felt absolutely awful. Thankfully, I'm doing much better now, even though I'm still coughing a bit. So please, look after your health, okay? Anyway, today we're pulling back the curtain on a massive cultural distraction campaign where glitz and glamour are being used to erase a dark truth and silence a cross-strait awakening. Stick around, because you never know how deep this hole goes. Zhang Linghe, born Zhang Jiawei, was born in 1997 in Wuxi, Jiangsu. During his high school years, he attended Tianyi High School, one of the most prestigious schools in Jiangsu province. In the 2016 Jiangsu College Entrance Examination, notoriously known as the Hell Mode exam, he scored a staggering 182 out of 200 inches mathematics. This score placed him in the top few dozen out of hundreds of thousands of test takers across the entire province that year. According to local students from Jiangsu, scoring above 175 is already elite, and anything over 180 is incredibly rare. Zhang Linghe later enrolled at Nanjing Normal University, a prestigious Project 211 institution majoring in the highly demanding field of electrical engineering and automation. His initial career plan was to pass the graduate entrance exam and land a stable job within the national grid system. This pure engineering background equipped him with incredibly sharp logical thinking and exceptional self-discipline. During his college years, relying on sheer willpower, he managed to lose 50 jin, about 25 kilograms, in just 4 months, completing his transformation from an ordinary engineering student into a stunningly handsome idol. Passionate about physics, Zhang Linghe had also joined the aerospace club at his university. It was during an event there that his striking looks caught the eye of a talent agent. After deep conversations and a closer look into the industry, he discovered a genuine passion for the craft and found himself deeply drawn to acting. Even though a career in the power grid meant stability, prestige, and a guaranteed future, the ultimate iron rice bowl. In the eyes of traditional parents, he couldn't stomach the monotony of a 9-to-5 desk job. And so, he made the bold choice to dive into the entertainment industry and become an actor. In 2020, Zhang Linghe officially debuted by starring in the historical romance drama Maiden Holmes. From there, he went on to star in a string of hits, including Sparkle Love, Love Crosses, Flourish in Time, Story of Cunning Palace, and Love Between Fairy and Devil, winning over audiences with his sharp, handsome features and natural, nuanced acting. However, in March of this year, Zhang Linghe hit his first major roadblock. While promoting Juyu on a variety show, a joke he made about being born in Southeast Asia sparked a massive racial stereotyping controversy overseas, landing him in a severe public relations crisis. This misstep coincided with the authorities' moral crackdown on the effeminate, powdered general's aesthetic just as Zuyu premiered in early April. The double pressure temporarily dragged him down. Yet, this crisis took a sudden turn in mid-April, when the Taiwanese market showed an overwhelmingly powerful public response to Juyu. The authorities quickly realized that this machine, which had initially malfunctioned in mainland China, could serve a much grander political purpose in the cross-strait game if they just reprogrammed it. To observe how mainland China's entertainment system weaponizes an artist into a geopolitical tool, the brief 1-month window from April to May 2026 offers Zhang Linghe as the most definitive case study. Within this incredibly tight time frame, Zhang Linghe's standing within the official state narrative underwent a lightning-fast shift, pivoting from a target of aesthetic criticism into a premier window for cultural exchange. This chain of events put down its roots in early April. Coinciding with the premiere of the historical drama Zuyu, Zhang Linghe's makeup, which was intentionally styled to fit his character's sickly, pale look from living in the desert, sparked a massive aesthetic controversy across the mainland internet. At a time when economic data and public livelihoods were facing harsh adjustments and the lying flat tamping trend was spreading among disillusioned youth, official propaganda channels quickly capitalized on the backlash as a convenient outlet. State media labeled his look as a powdered general, arguing that such an overly effeminate aesthetic would corrupt the values of the younger generation, even escalating the issue to a matter of national morality and development. Back then, under the authorities' public framing, Zhang Linghe was objectively the primary target of moral condemnation in mainland China, leaving him completely cornered. However, this high-pressure moral crusade ran headfirst into an entirely unexpected political variable in mid-April. On April 14th, the chairperson of Taiwan's Kuomintang Party, Zhang Linghe, who had just wrapped up her official visit to Beijing and returned to Taiwan, openly mentioned how much Taiwanese youth loved the drama Zuyu during an exclusive media interview. She shared that a popular joke was even making the rounds on the Taiwanese internet, saying that if Zhang Linghe were sent to Taiwan, cross-strait issues would be resolved peacefully. Riding this wave of public sentiment, Zhang Linghe openly called on the authorities from both sides to facilitate Zhang Linghe's cultural exchange visit to Taiwan. To make matters more interesting, right when mainland China was fiercely criticizing him as a youth-corrupting powdered general, Taiwan's Daily View released an analytical chart of the top 10 male actors portraying generals or war gods over the past 2 years, and Zhang Linghe topped the list without any real competition. This public nod from Taiwanese political circles, coupled with the overwhelming enthusiasm from the Taiwanese public, caught the attention of Beijing's top brass immediately. In no time, it was swiftly weaponized into a massive cross-strait united front asset. On April 22nd, the Taiwan Affairs Office issued a highly positive statement. Just 2 days later, on April 24th, the state-level media outlet Yang Shipin dropped an exclusive personal interview with Zhang Linghe out of nowhere. In this interview, the previous aesthetic controversy and powdered general accusations were completely brushed aside. The authorities stepped in directly, using a meticulously crafted script to fully restore his public image. By early May, People's Daily, Xinhua News Agency, and CCTV collectively activated their propaganda matrix, rebranding him into a multilateral warrior. To People's Daily, he was a star of high moral character and professionalism, a clear-headed thinker who stood firmly against emotional exhaustion, anti-Neihao. To Xinhua News Agency, he was a pragmatic, professional engineering student. To CCTV, he was a deeply dedicated actor with profound cultural roots. On May 8th, the social welfare documentary Ning Tan Wei Lai, co-starring Zhang Linghe, premiered on the mainland platform Bilibili. Ning Tan Wei Lai, or Zero Carbon Future, marked mainland China's very first social welfare documentary on low-carbon transition, featuring a celebrity ambassador. At the press conference, Zhang Linghe was officially awarded a certificate as a WildAid social ambassador. Through official state propaganda, Zhang Linghe was successfully remolded into an exemplary youth of both intellect and integrity. In just one single month, he transformed from an aesthetic target condemned by state media into an emotional bridge connecting both sides of the strait. This dramatic overnight reversal was an emergency rescue operation forced upon the system when confronted with a much deeper tsunami of public opinion. So, why were the authorities in such a frantic rush? The answer most likely lies buried behind another name that has now faded into the shadows. Before exposing the authorities' true trump card, we must first clear up one fact. Neither Zhang Linghe himself, nor the Taiwanese fans who genuinely love him, share any malicious political intent toward one another. Every smile and compliance Zhang Linghe displays on stage is, at its core, merely him playing his part as an executor within the system, a pawn ready to align for the greater good. On the other hand, the mainland authorities are actually facing an unprecedented public relations crisis triggered by the Menglong incident. In September 2025, Menglong's sudden passing sparked a massive internet lockdown, sweeping post removals and account bans across the mainland. However, this heavy-handed censorship failed to stifle public opinion like it usually does. Instead of dying down, the crisis catalyzed a public awakening that bridged the strait. Menglong's noble character during his lifetime, known for being gentle and highly cultured, transformed into a catalyst after the tragedy, igniting the conscience and collective reflection of people on both sides of the strait. Mainland netizens, facing the relentless pressure of deleted posts and forced silence, began turning to open communities overseas. Meanwhile, Taiwanese netizens leveraged their free speech environment, voluntarily helping to back up data and piece together internal evidence. This spontaneous overseas cooperation between netizens using simplified and traditional Chinese characters was no longer just the usual fan wars of the past. It became a powerful wave of public opinion rooted in individual dignity and pure conscience. In the logic of the Chinese Communist Party's cross-strait, united front strategy, the thing they fear most isn't weapons, it is a complete fracture in the hearts of the people. What makes this even more problematic for the system is that the silent understanding formed through resisting this internet censorship happened to resonate with the overseas Tuidang movement, the wave of citizens resigning from the CCP and a broader spiritual awakening. A significant number of mainland citizens have openly declared their resignation from the CCP's 3 organizations, Sanctuary, as a direct result of the Menglong incident. Netizens from both sides now stand on the same side, bound by a shared sense of right and wrong. This spontaneous alliance of conscience and spiritual awakening, completely free from official direction, is precisely the scenario the system fears most. What the CCP dreads above all else is Taiwanese netizens acting as an overseas megaphone for mainland China's internal resistance and the party resignation wave, all while demanding justice for Menglong. To extinguish these embers before they trigger a deeper political identity crisis, the authorities had to launch a precision containment operation within Taiwan's public square. This is the real reason Zhang Linghe was pushed to the front lines. The authorities want to leverage Zhang Linghe's flawless smile and high-intellect persona, while capitalizing on the momentum of his name being openly praised by Taiwanese politicians to ride the wave and package him as a cultural ambassador. As long as Zhang Linghe can ignite mass hysteria in Taipei's Rebranding, Taiwan's public focus will be successfully redirected into an entertainment frame subsided by cross-strait cultural exchange, idol worship, and drama-watching trends. The ultimate goal of all this is nothing less than to completely erase and erode the political fallout in Taiwan that flared up after Menglong's passing. Using a meticulously designed spectacle to chip away at the public's collective questioning of the system's black hole, hearing this, we might all find ourselves deep in thought. Whether it's for the netizens on both sides who pierce through internet censorship for the sake of truth, or for ordinary people who continue to discern right from wrong amidst the grand vortex of this complex era, this long battle for memory and conscience often demands an extraordinary amount of our energy and mental strength. After recognizing the awakening of cross-strait public consciousness triggered by the Menglong incident and how it sparked a wave of party resignations overseas, we can fully understand the essential role behind Zhang Linghe's orchestrated visit to Taiwan. In the logic of propaganda and psychological defense, the most effective way to completely wipe out the rebellious imprint of a symbol from the public's heart is not through a forced ban, but by introducing a highly similar, yet absolutely safe substitute to forcibly claim the public's emotional space. This is the profound reason why Zhang Linghe was chosen. From physical appearance and charisma to his roles in historical dramas, Zhang Linghe and Menglong share an incredibly high overlap in the aesthetic preferences of Taiwanese audiences. The authorities targeted exactly this preference among Taiwanese youth for this type of male figure. Capitalizing on the momentum when Taiwanese politicians openly called for it in mid-April, they went with the flow and pushed him into the Taiwanese market. However, this movement of collective amnesia, woven together by the machinery of power and commercial capital, will it truly succeed in erasing the conscience of netizens on both sides of the strait, as they hope? This grandeur, woven by power and capital, on the surface, does seem to have successfully established a new celebrity hotspot within Taiwan's public opinion sphere. Yet, even though the system can control account bans, post removals, and the distribution of commercial traffic, it will never, ever truly control the pure conscience in the deepest hearts of netizens on both sides. Although Menglong is no longer with us, his noble character, known for being gentle and highly cultured during his lifetime, has left an indelible mark on the hearts of casual fans Lurenfen and mommy fans Mama Fen across the strait. This is the group of people who, over the past half year, have spontaneously joined hands to break through layers of internet censorship, all to piece together the covered-up truth. This cross-strait spiritual awakening is, at its core, not a political confrontation, but a human persistence in discerning right from wrong and guarding the absolute baseline of goodness. When people on both sides of the strait realize that no matter how obedient or how gentle you are in the eyes of the dictatorial machine, you are still just a replaceable part that can be discarded at any moment, this moral awakening directly shakes the legitimacy of the CCP's rule. It also proves one thing. Once people clearly see the system's ruthless erasure of an individual, no beautiful substitute can ever truly glamorize the coldness of that system. We can admire Zhang Linghe's perfection and rationality on stage, but we cannot and will never forget the scars Menglong left in the dark. Because remembering Menglong means remembering our own persistence in goodness. Remembering that an individual should not be casually erased and obliterated by the system. June 15th marks Menglong's birthday, and the Taiwanese public has launched a project to support him. The goal of this streetlight adoption program is to light up 615 lights before June 15th. This long battle between collective amnesia and public conscience continues. While the system attempts to use precision chess pieces to erode memory, the spontaneous memorial actions by netizens from both sides prove that truth and goodness can never truly be orchestrated or wiped away. Do you believe this is the case? Will you continue to seek truth and defend goodness? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you appreciate our program, please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming episodes. Thank you for watching this episode. We'll see you in the next one. If you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.